Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So, this is the last one that I did, which I am completely in love with. So, it's really hard to show on camera how beautiful it really is. But the metallic shimmer in this is beautiful. This is a treasured gold ghost swipe. I'm just tilting it, so hopefully you guys get to see different angles. But this was really nice, and everyone seemed to love it, which was really good. But yeah, it turned out beautiful. Great cells, really nice composition, so thrilled. So now, tonight, I'll just put this aside. Sorry for my messy thing, but I'm going to reuse that. So I am going to do a pour that I have done once before, and hopefully I get better results this time. So it's going to be a dirty pour, straight pour, but with a difference. So I'm using obsidian. So I'm kind of like doing it in reverse in a way. I'm using obsidian as the pearl color and turquoise as the base color. So normally I do it like with a black with colored pearls. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So I've used Decor Art Americana Decor Metallics in obsidian as the pearl. And there's only one pearl color, which is obsidian. Then I have used marte turquoise. So the mixtures for these are, this one I've made a little bit thicker than last time. So this is 1 part paint, 1.5 parts Australian floetrol. So it's not as liquidy as I normally would do it. Then this one here, the turquoise is really thin in this brand. So this is 1 part paint and about 1 3/4 part floetrol. So not quite 2 to 1 in its mixture. Now, I need a cup. So, this one here can be a little bit challenging. Let me actually zoom in because I want, there we go. I want you guys to actually see the whole thing. So, with this, I am going to pour in some turquoise as a base, just a bit. Now, this turquoise is being a pain lately. It is starting to develop some occasional lumps. So I'm pouring it through this sieve, which has helped because I can see lumps in there. It's just getting older, so that's the way it's behaving. Now, the obsidian, we're just going to pour in as a dirty pour. So some paints, as they get older, become a little bit lumpy, especially because they come in a 2-litre bottle, and the top part, sometimes you get parts in it that dry out a little bit and other parts that don't. So that's why I'm doing it through the sieve. And it's not a big sieve, like not a fine grade or anything. It's just something to catch clumps. Now let's really hope this works. Now we're just going to put a little bit more in. Okay. So that is my cup that I'm going to pour with. Now we need to make a base. So yeah, there's so many clumps coming into this. I'm really glad I'm sifting it. So I don't think you guys can see, but in the bottom of this little sieve, there's a whole bunch of clumps. One thing you do need to do is wash it out relatively quickly, or put it in water until you wash it out. It will probably last for this pour, but I wouldn't leave it any longer. Now with our base, like normal, we want to cover the sides and the edges. Also, this seems to work a little bit better when you use an opaque color than a transparent. Otherwise you get, it doesn't kind of cover the sides and edges as good. Oops, I didn't check to see if my canvas was level. Yep, it is. And I got to shave again because I'm losing beard hair in my artwork. Not that I have much of a beard, but I get little whiskers that fall in it. Alright, now I've done the back part, my head should be out of the way. So we're just coating this. So see how the sides are actually staying quite blue. If you use a transparent or semi-transparent, you end up seeing through it to the white canvas a lot more, and it doesn't seem to work as good. So most colors you can actually find an opaque version, maybe not in the brand that you're normally using. So in my mont, there is no opaque red or yellow actually, which is a little bit frustrating. So I'd have to go to a different brand. If I was to use Heraldo di Polo, they have an opaque yellow, but I don't know if they have an opaque red either. So then I'd have to go to like a Liquitex Basics, which I'm pretty sure has an opaque red. So you just have to find a brand if it's in the color that you're after. Sorry if this bit's a bit boring, but I like to always show the whole process. So now we are just going to spread this out. Coat the canvas. So what I'm hoping for is a really nice turquoise background with these kind of black metallic pearls, and they're kind of more boulders when I do a dirty pour rather than an actual pearl pour. And when I say boulders, I mean they have an irregular shape, not so circular, so they look more like a boulder or a pebble than a pearl. Alright, there's a decent amount of paint here. How much paint did I use? The black obsidian I used, I knew I should have wrote it down. I'm trying to rack my brain. I think it was about 23 or 24 grams paint. And then I used 1.5 parts of floetrol for that. And then turquoise was, how much did I use of the turquoise? 77 grams paint. And then I did it to approximately 1 3/4 part floetrol. I'll have to sit down and actually measure it, work it out in my head, because I just kept adding until I felt like it was at the right consistency. But I did do it on the scale, so I do have the measurements. I just have to add it up in my head. Okay, so here's this. There should be that most of this cup is probably actually the obsidian, probably about half. So now we're going to pour this from a height. So I'm going to slightly pinch the cup. It's not breaking, it's just kind of a little bit more of a spout. Up high. Pouring it in. Okay, now all of that was a dirty pour apart from that last little bit that sat on the top, which is there. So I'll get different reactions from that. Now, dirty pours create bubbles. So we're going to get out our trusty blowtorch or whatever you use to pop bubbles. And I'm going to do the whole canvas, including the background. Not leaving it on anywhere for a period of time. Continuously moving the torch. Lots of bubbles are popping. Now, put that somewhere it's not going to burn anything. I'm going to get more bubbles come up, but also see how I'm getting these inner cells? I want more of them to show. Now, to get more of those, I need time. So, I am going to pause it, leave this for 4 minutes. I'm going to predict about 4 minutes, and then come back, and more of these natural ones should show up. So if I start tilting it now, I will get pearls come up, but I'm kind of wanting these ones that come up first instead of ones that come up after. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to go wash my strainer out, my little sieve. So yeah, I'd say about 4 minutes. All right, I'll be back soon. Okay, now, been 4 or 5 minutes. I have torched it 2 more times since then, and there's been less bubbles each time I've torched it. So hopefully now they'll be cool. But as you can see how these have swollen up a little bit more and gotten a bit more intense. So now it's just a matter of tilting. So like normal, I try to go slow, but depending on how I'm feeling, sometimes my back is sore and I can't tilt that slow. I'm going to lose those pebbles if I go too much more that way. So I'm going to come back. Being thicker, it's behaving a little bit more differently. The paint's rolling over itself more than it is pushing itself. This side's pushing a bit more better. So I might go over the corner on this corner. Over. Bring it back. I'm going to put a little bit on that corner while I was at it. And now I'm going to go up to this corner. The paint's moving at different speeds. That's why it's going a little bit out of shape in spots. because there was a lot more obsidian in that cup than there was turquoise, it kind of behaves a little bit differently. The paint kind of, it's like the obsidian wants to move quicker and the turquoise doesn't, but that's fine. If you are finding that's happening too much, then slow down how fast you tilt. So I'm just bringing it to the corner, making sure that it's going over the side as well, or the bottom. There we go. Bring it back. There we go. Now bringing the paint back to the middle-ish. And then off to that side, last corner. Over we go, and then bring it back. Now, while I'm here, I'm just going to run my finger along that bottom bit there. There was a tad bit that didn't get the paint on it. Probably kept it a little bit thicker than I normally would. So now I am just going to move it around a little bit until you kind of get the composition that you're after. What I'm wanting is virtually bits of turquoise that are coming through, which is not a lot, as you can see that big center, but then there's turquoise in other parts, surrounded by kind of this dark shroud. That's what I'm going to call it. It's virtually just the obsidian coming up in either a pearl or a boulder, like I've mentioned before, a pebble. By stretching it a little bit back and forth, I'm going to create maybe more pearls. If there's any part that you want to tip it off, do so. I don't really want to tip any off. I just want to move it around to see if I can get any of deeper pearls come up. But what I'm really after is just this nice turquoise with the dark shroud of the obsidian kind of glooming over it. I want it to look a little bit stormy, and it's not overly heavy. Because the turquoise and the obsidian have mixed a lot, especially over here, where you've got kind of a lighter... the obsidian's not completely black anyway. It's very metallic, so it's dark. So I'm just running my finger underneath the bottom edge, just to take off any excess paint. So can you see on my glove, see how bright the actual turquoise is normally? So the turquoise has deepened in colour, and the obsidian isn't as dark as in the artwork as it is in some of the bits that have poured off or inside the original cup. So both colours have combined to kind of create this range of colours that is all between turquoise and black and such, really. I want this to look a little bit moody. I'm going to have to get my gloves off. I'm not going to do any more tilting. And I know my gloves more likely to drip a drop of paint into my artwork. Sorry, there was a bug. I missed him anyway. So from here, I am going to torch it one more time. This is not 100% necessary. It's up to you what you prefer to do or not. I just want to make sure that there is no bubbles. Not much really popped. Now, for this artwork to be at its final stage, you have to let it settle. Like at the beginning, it evolves as it sits. So as you can see, some of these dark pearls that are popping up into it, when you've got this other more shrouded, darker colour here, when these are more the original like pearls when you do a pearl pour. So we just have to let this settle and see what happens over the next approximately 15 minutes. It does vary depending on weather, the thickness of the paints, a few things. Even the colour of the paint can make it evolve quicker or slower. But for now, we'll pause it and we will come back and see what happens soon. Okay, we're back. So, as we can see, some of these pearls have come up a little bit more defined in here. And even in the black, there's more definition in here. So it's hard to see unless you're in the right light. But all across here where these pearls have joined or pushed to each other, they've made a very dark outline of obsidian that runs through there and across and up through here. There's bits and pieces all over where it's one pearl is pushed against the other pearl, which is pushed the obsidian together and made kind of like where you can see these light turquoise slithers. It's like that, but in the obsidian color. So it's actually quite cool. These pearls, as you can see, they have swollen up and a couple more have popped up near them. They're kind of just spreading out a little bit. I don't think they're going to do too much more. But what I do like about this is it's not overrun with black. Like the obsidian in this cup is actually quite dark, when in the artwork it is lightened up and become just like a very dark silver. But the turquoise is there and it's popping because there's so much what I call shroud of the dark color around. It's really made this turquoise part pop, and it's through here and then it runs in bits and pieces all over. So this will actually look really cool. When it dries, it's probably not going to change too much. You can see a couple more little tiny pearls have come up over there. But yeah, overall, I'm really pleased with this. So it might be hard to see through a camera. Certain colors don't show as good through certain cameras. So some cameras pick up the blue wavelength and some pick up a red wavelength. This camera doesn't like certain wavelengths, so it doesn't pick up every color as accurately as it should. But ultimately, we've got beautiful turquoise with like a dark grey shroud running through. And over here, there's turquoise with the obsidian down through here. So you've got all different shades happening all at once. The darkest parts are actually the pearls and the crackle bits where they pushed together and made the darker lines. So overall, I'm pleased. This will be quite an attractive artwork once it's dried. Probably look even better if it was varnished or resined after it has dried. But yeah, I love it. I'm really pleased. I kind of got what I wanted. The last one I did, I don't think I got different reactions by mixing the paint up thicker. I think what I have got is better composition in this one compared to the last one. So I'm going to bring you down for a close-up and let me know what you think. Okay, so in the camera it's actually coming out darker than I can see in real life. But as you can see, you've got the beautiful turquoise running through with like this dark shroud. It kind of looks like looking up at the sky and you've got real heavy clouds and the sky's peeking through in parts. But all across here you've got more turquoise up along this corner. But the main section is through here and these bits up and around in here. Now, if I can show you those darker... Can you see those darker lines in there from where the obsidian's pushed and made dark, thicker lines? It's not always as easy to see, but it's kind of really cool. But even over here, see how there's all different shades? Then you've got the real bright turquoise that pops through with these darker pearls that are there. So this may not be to everyone's liking. It could be quite too heavy, maybe even a little bit, I don't know, gloomy. But I like this. This will look really good on a wall where it's not meant to be completely stand out, but that pop of colour with this dark cloud coming through it will really highlight the artwork in a different way to having something that's real bright, colourful and cheery. It's hard to explain, but yeah, it really will. I'll try and fix up one of my walls where I can actually put my artwork on there and get some photos or videos of it, so you can actually see how things can look on the wall. Just depends on your wall colour, and that's the thing, I can't have a different wall colour every time I do a different painting, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share and subscribe if you have not already. Just hit the bell and click all. And yeah, really just let me know what you think, because I love this and I think it works well. I don't think it would work great with every colour. I think the turquoise and the obsidian work well together. Probably even another type of blue would work well. I don't know if all colours would work well. So we'll see. I might try a different colour another time, but it could be a complete failure. All right, well, I hope you guys like this. Let me know what you think, and I will see you soon for another pour. Have a great night. Bye.